Ever since I pivoted this channel to mental health content, I was fully aware that, eventually, my content would basically turn into therapy for me. I think the mental health hurdles I face are extremely common, and maybe by overcoming something myself, it would prove that you can too. This video is special. After years of searching for answers to the struggles I've been going through, for the first time ever, I feel like I hit the nail right on the head with this one. This is a problem I've been struggling with for a while, and I can't wait to finally fix it. Or at least soothe it over a little bit. In short, I think my anxiety has been so bad recently because I've been internalizing my emotions, as I suspect many of us have been. What does that mean? Well, imagine you're in a conversation with somebody. Maybe you're overthinking everything you say and do. You're hanging on every word. Maybe the other person says something you disagree with, and you want to say something, but you don't want to start an argument necessarily. So you just kinda nod along, and say what you think they want to hear, for the sake of the conversation. Right there, you've internalized your emotions. You felt one way, but instead of creating an uncomfortable social situation, you just stuffed it down inside and moved on. Hey, it's better than lashing out at someone and ruining yet another potential friendship. Well, maybe. But you don't realize how damaging it is to constantly stifle your own opinion and prioritize others' happiness over your own. Why do we do this? I'd like to read this excerpt from a Psychology Today article that lays it all out for you. Quote, "In an effort to not disappoint, rock the boat, or cause conflict, you swallow your true feelings. This pattern starts in early family life and, over time, can become the only tool you have to manage relationships. You may give yourself a variety of excuses for why you have to elevate the needs and emotions of others over your own. You are tough, you can deal with it, or you need to process the situation and come back to it. Or maybe you aren't connected with yourself in the moment, so you don't even know what you are truly feeling. These rationales keep your feelings suppressed. When you internalize, you sacrifice the long term for the short term. In the moment, you are liked, and you keep things easy for the other person. But in the longer term, you feel exhausted and burnt out by your relationships. You may find yourself replaying conversations in your mind. You may be resentful of people, wishing they'd see you and your needs more and wondering what's wrong with them, that they keep treating you a certain way. You may have a lot of people in your life, but you still feel empty and unfulfilled. I don't know about you, but that just perfectly describes almost all of my problems. Finally, I found the one piece of evidence I needed to fill in the gaps. For so long, I've had this overwhelming anxiety, and I could never find the true source of it. But right now, this explanation, I don't know, it just feels right. How did I not see this before? Well, according to this article, one of the most challenging aspects of internalizing behaviors is that they're often overlooked. Unlike externalizing behaviors like verbal aggression, fighting, or breaking the law, internalizing behaviors can be invisible to the untrained eye. But while they might be less obvious to the outside world, they're no less challenging to live with. So, how does this even happen? What causes someone to internalize their feelings, and what leads it to manifest as extreme anxiety? I'll paint you a picture. You're young, maybe you have strict parents or mean siblings. If you try to speak up, one or both of them lash out at you. You learn through repetition that if you keep your head down and just play along, you can avoid conflict. You don't get the spanking if you don't say anything. You learn that it's up to you to keep the other person's emotions in check. Over time, that other person might mellow out. They're not yelling like they used to. Great! But what they did to your mind isn't going away on its own. Your mind was shaped by their volatile behavior, and now you're subconsciously afraid to say anything that would jeopardize a relationship, no matter how small it is or how in the right you are. Currently, maybe you're afraid to try new things. Maybe you worry too much, and it's ruined your ability to properly socialize. A lot of people will try to over-control every social interaction because the interactions they used to experience were so fragile. But if you feel like this describes you, then the only way to move forward is to let go. Here are 5 things you should do if this describes you and you want to fix the problem. Number 1, embrace vulnerability. Try to be more vulnerable when you have a conversation with someone. Be your authentic self. If things just aren't really working out and you're not vibing with them, tell them. If they say something that offends you or makes you uncomfortable, tell them. If they don't stop, then you need to stop talking to them. Maybe someone invites you to hang out and they want you to go to the bar, but you don't feel comfortable going to the bar. You really want to hang out with this person, but the bar is just way too many people. Tell them you'd rather go somewhere a little more low-key. Don't devalue yourself just to be part of a relationship. And don't think you always need to absorb that discomfort. Sure, sometimes you have to do things you don't want to do, but you'll know when you're too accommodating. Number 2, practice mindfulness. A lot of us live our lives on autopilot because we're burnt out from work. Just try to take some time to really think some decisions through. And be intentional. Meditate, do some breathing exercises, anything that brings you into the present moment. Number 3, challenge those negative thoughts. If your own mind is too hard on you, question why. Like this. That conversation didn't go as well as I wanted it to. I think he hates me now. No, hold on, I don't think it was all that bad. He said something offensive and you stood up for yourself. If anything, he probably has a lot more respect for you now, since you stood up for yourself. Sometimes, you have to fight your own mind when it's trying to make you feel like shit. Number 4, seek professional help. If none of this advice is working, it might be worth it to seek the help of a professional. People are unique, and you might need an unorthodox solution. If you've been internalizing your problems for as long as I have, you may need an outside source to step in and tell you it's gonna be okay. Number 5, relieve some stress. This is a problem that is exacerbated by stress. If you need to blow off some steam after a stressful day, please do so. Most nights, I'll just veg out in front of the TV, and while this isn't the healthiest way to relax, it's been effective for leaving my worries at the door until tomorrow. For me, the biggest issue has been being honest with my friends and family. I recognize now that I have a tendency to act fake in almost every situation I'm in, and every conversation that I'm a part of. Maybe I'll be really nice, or I'll even hold a fake interest in something they're talking about, just to keep the conversation going. But while that may work in the moment, it makes so much sense to me that yeah, of course I'm gonna feel burnt out after every conversation if I continually do that. If I'm talking to someone and I'm just not vibing with whatever they're saying, I should just be honest with them. This doesn't mean I need to tank every conversation that's boring to me. I just need to be honest with them if something isn't clicking, and try to shift the conversation to something else. Otherwise, we're both gonna feel like we didn't connect over anything real. This advice works even better when you're having an in-person conversation. Your body language will say a lot. Who knows? Maybe by pivoting the conversation into something else, it'll allow you to actually find some common ground, making that relationship stronger. But you don't have to take my word for it. Quote, "Expressing yourself in the moment is exceptionally powerful and is a counter to many negative symptoms. Do it and you will walk away feeling lighter and restored in some way. You will sense the presence of a more authentic version of yourself. Instead of wishing you'd said something differently or feeling resentful or alone, you'll feel set free to be your real self. Most importantly, the more you express your real self, the more meaningful connections in your life will display themselves in high resolution. You'll see that the presence of your real self deepens in interaction, that you feel closer to people, or that someone is now more interested or curious about your needs than you had originally thought. You'll learn that people aren't nearly as fragile as you imagine, and they can handle you, your feelings, or even your need to let them down or disappoint them on occasion. It's also true that some won't vibe with this more real version of you. You probably have some connections who like that you put yourself to the side and elevate them. It can be a vulnerable feeling to put yourself out there and not feel as if that self is acknowledged or valued. Still, It's important to know where you stand with people so you don't waste precious resources of time and energy on people who can't appreciate you fully. So yeah, that's this whole video. I assume this one is going to be much shorter than my usual videos, but I didn't want to beat around the bush on this one. I found an answer to one of my problems, and I wanted to share it with you. So, let me know if this video resonated with you at all. I suspect that a lot of us had parents with high expectations, or ones that could get very upset very easily. Maybe you had a hard time being yourself as a kid, but now that you've realized it, you can talk to someone you trust and finally start being yourself. On our Discord server, we have forum posts where people can discuss what was said in each video. I've gotten a lot of comments from people who have had trouble with the invite link. We're trying to resolve that behind the scenes. Make sure you're clicking the button to accept the rules. So, regardless, leave a comment down below and join the server to continue the conversation. I really want to hear back from you guys, and I want to see if it's not just me. I know it isn't just me. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you all. Good night.